Good morning, members of the press. I'm going to talk on biodiversity. As you all know, the Biodiversity Convention is already finished, and as Indigenous peoples, we would like to have a say on how this convention is and how it is going to affect us. First point, we have not, the Indigenous peoples who have maintained biodiversity have never been included in the negotiations of this Biodiversity Convention. The real custodians of the genetic resources of this world have not been considered and have not been involved in these negotiations. And while in the convention, it affirms the role of the important role of Indigenous peoples in preserving biodiversity, in the subsequent portions, it doesn't mention anything about the role or the control and access of Indigenous peoples over this biodiversity. We think that the convention has failed the rights of Indigenous peoples to have control and access over this. We fear that biodiversity again will once more be appropriated by us, by the transnational corporations and governments in collaboration with governments for more profits. As it is, they already talk of biodiversity as a commodity, as an economic resource, which is going to be negotiated between the country where we are and the transnational corporations or even environmental organizations who are interested to preserve this biodiversity. We already have experiences of being dislocated from our territories because the environmental groups and transnational corporations have discovered this rich biodiversity. And for them to be able to protect this, they have to fence off Indigenous peoples from these traditional territories of where they have lived for centuries. So in this context, we don't think that the Biodiversity Convention is going to be of any help to the Indigenous peoples. In fact, we believe that this is one instrument which is going to further disenfranchise us of our control over this biodiversity, our control over our ancestral lands, our traditional territories, and our control over our own sustainable economic models which we have maintained through all these years. Thank you very much.